What it do, everybody? It's your boy King Crowder, back again with another edition of History You May Not Know and Things That Are Not Taught in Detail for Show. Today's lesson, I'm going to break on one of the most groundbreaking court cases that happened in this country that many of us have no idea when or how it happened. What we're going to be talking about is Buck versus Bell. This Supreme Court decision written by Justice Oliver Wendell Holmes Jr., in which a state statute permits compulsive sterilization for unfit and disabled people. Remember, eugenics was going all across this country. However, the 14th Amendment and due processes were being violated. It was also weakened by the Skinner v. Oklahoma court decision that says sterilization happened by male criminal inmates cannot happen. There must be a just to, and people have the reason to defend themselves with disabilities. Let's break down the background. Eugenics was founded by Francis Galton, who was coined the name and became popular in around late 1800s United States post the Civil War. It was a research paper written by our Ivy League institution. Indiana was the first state, as I've done in the previous video, to legally allow sterilization to happen all across the board. Tap this Indiana video to watch it. And what people did not know is that when Indiana started rolling that ball, multiple states around this country began to legalize sterilization of special needs children. What they did was intellectually disabled children were literally sterilized without any consult, without any help, which they were physically, mentally, or could not choose themselves. So if you went to prison, they would sterilize you. If you were considered overly sexual or promiscuous, they would sterilize you, no matter what age you were. People have no idea how big of an issue this was during this period of time. Looking back at it, it did not become famous until we had the Buck family out of Charlottesville, Virginia. Virginia, stand up. 3 of their children, Emma Buck, was also a half-children, which she was a special need child. She was considered feeble-minded. Upon one time, while she was with her foster parents, when she attended school, would you believe that she was committed to a special needs hospital and they did the surgery without her parents, without them knowing, and without even approval? They declared that Mrs. Buck was mentally incompetent. Therefore, she had no right to have children. The state of Virginia did this act without even having any trial, any knowledge, any signed paperwork. They did it because they wanted to. Most people have no idea that Vivian contracted measles and died from the infection when she was a child beforehand. But think about this for a second. A whole state had your daughter, did a sterilization act on her, and nobody said anything. The Sterilization Act gave them illegal premises under the law, free reign to do what they wanted, and the child was under age 18. This court case decision became a big deal. Mrs. Buck's family decided to pursue against the law. They hired an attorney, got representation known as Everin and Dr. Preble, the superintendent of Virginia Colony, to make them say, why must you do this to a child? We have rights in this country. We have legislation. We believe that you cannot do this without an active approval. The court supreme could not come to a decision. The effects on this groundbreaking court case made sure the United States as a whole had to get one accord in accord on the eugenics law. Eugenics sterilization had to go all the way to the Supreme Court to say, hey, this is illegal. The 14th Amendment provided this is unconstitutional. The statute of Virginia had to know, hey, you did this without approval. As we discussed previously, eugenics, we never put the proper title on it, was kin to the Nazis in Germany. We actually took that step a step further than the Nazis did. Eugenics was meant to keep racial groups and inevitable groups, certain classes of people, to be withheld from this country. Eugenics was an ideology approved by mostly white supremacists to say, we don't want this group of people having children. We believe they don't deserve rights. We believe they should be limited, and we're going to make sure they lose their access to having children. What they did not suspect is that the U.S. citizens would stand up, would go against their approval by saying, hey, this is unconstitutional. How are you going to insulate and service my child, one, without me knowing it? 2, without a court case. 3, without approval. The Supreme Court had to agree with the side of the family. President Warren H. Taft had to agree. Hey, this is going out of hand. We cannot have this groundbreaking lawsuit on children who have not been serviced and have not been getting the proper details for their injuries. We are just sterilizing people all over this country and causing issues even amongst the white citizens. They were sterilizing black people at a much higher rate, which we already know. Don't forget about the poor, the uneducated, and prisoners. There's no actual record on how many. I suspect this to be a lot higher, but I want you to think about this for a second. Sterilization in America became such a big deal that the Supreme Court had to hammer down a law saying this cannot happen. Think about how many incidents throughout this whole country. We have no idea on why some of our elders and elder generation did not have children. It's your boy King Crowder back again to break down a groundbreaking lawsuit that most people have no idea about. How the state gave sterilized children and made sure they went against our natural rights. It's scary to think about it, but this actually happened in real time and was decided at the Supreme Court level. Until next time, it's your boy checking out. Make sure you comment, like, and tell me what you learned. You didn't learn nothing, say you didn't learn nothing. If you learned a lot, please let me know. Until next time, peace.